All right, looks like we are live right now. Appreciate everybody for joining me today. Today is, yes, it is another wonderful day for us to get the information that we need to start growing the business. Now I'm going to get everything set up behind me so that we can start this presentation real quick. And I could share with you a breakdown of exactly what can be expected following the BPC method in the Northwicks sales system. Now, this is a big piece. This is a big part of why people either succeed or why people fail. Now, when you're thinking about how you're going to go ahead and get cold traffic, people who have never seen or heard from you before, and you're thinking about how you're going to get them to actually want to do business with you, well, there's a couple of factors that come into play. Now, number one is, what's your patience level like and what's your demand level like? Because if you're somebody who is thinking, well, I'm not going to put in the work to sell a high ticket service that's actually going to provide something long lasting for my client, then you're in the wrong business, right? Then you're probably not with the right mindset up front. We have to understand that people who have never done business with you before have no clue as to what you can provide. And us being sometimes egotistical in business, we believe that we are just that good and other people should just know it. That is a bunch of BS, and it's going to leave you stranded, wondering why the hell the results aren't turning out the way that they want to, or the way that you wanted to. If we look at this breakdown, I took a little bit of time to make sure that you are going to get a clear-cut look as to the breakdown from cold traffic to warm traffic, your front end to your back end to your retargeting. I'm talking about everything when it comes to the expectations that you can start to really believe and start to buy into, so that you're not wondering at the end of week one, why don't I have any new clients? At the end of week two, why don't I have any new clients? Well, the reasoning behind that is because these people who are in your market are rational human beings. And so to think that if you go into a store, let me ask you, when you go into a store and let's say the product is $1,000 or more, are you the type of person that goes, oh, well, I've never seen or heard of this product before, let me just give them this $1,000? I doubt it. I doubt you have ever done that. Why? Because it's not logical. It's not logical, and you cannot create a business based on emotion and what ifs. You have to create a business on logical advancements in your business model. So when we take a look at the prospect type, the very first column that we're looking at, we're going to see that week 1 to week 8 is how long on average it's going to take. It's not something that is like, oh, well, I'm waiting to sell to them. It's not saying that throughout the 8 weeks you won't get any new clients. What it's saying is that the idea is for you to position yourself in the marketplace as an authority of somebody who is not just going to show up in their news feed or in their advertising, in their sphere only once. You want to let these folks know that are in your market that you are willing to earn their business. Now, what does that look like? Well, what it looks like is you not giving up after week 1, right? What it looks like is you not giving up after week 2 or 3. And putting in the time to make sure that we have cold traffic running into the warm traffic system so that we can then market and promote to them more, I guess I should say, more trust maximizers and more sales opportunities, right? The more offers we have out there, the better we are. So let's take a look at how this typically works out. Most people will think, oh, well, I served out an advertisement, so you know what? They saw my ad, they're going to opt in. No, actually, that's not the case. Most actual opt-ins are ranging between 20 and 35%. If you have it above 35%, you're doing fantastic. So you have to understand that between 65 and 80% of the people who are visiting this page after they click an ad, they're not taking action. So the average business owner in this case is going to go, well, the system's broken, right? The person who has no clue as to how marketing and buyer psychology work is going to think, you know what? This is not working. Where in fact, let's look at the actual behavior pattern. Now, this isn't something that I've made up. This is actual research. This is data that we've seen along with data from our clients, along with data from other companies that are producing 15 times more than us right now, right? It's not just make-believe, fairy tale, work harder type of presentation here. This breakdown is going to let you know exactly, look, week 1, they're going to see the ad for the first time ever. That's what cold traffic is. Cold traffic means that this is the first time we have ever seen them and they have ever seen us. So then it's going to go into week 2 or 3. Do you think that the first time they see your ad, they're going to opt in? No, that's why your impressions are always greater than and your reach is always greater than what? Your opt-ins. Because not everybody who sees the ad for the first time is going to click, and not everybody who clicks is going to buy into it, what you're actually offering. So we have to understand that when they see your ad for the first time, guess what a majority, 80% of people between the age of 25 and 40, guess what they're doing right now? Yes, they are going after they see your ad for the first time, they're going straight to visit your social media pages and your website. So if those things are terribly put together, if the message doesn't match, if there are things that are incongruent, you're going to create what's called cognitive dissonance, which is not something that you want. It's a scientific fact that if you create this cognitive dissonance, that you are going to leave out more of what's needed for them to make this decision. You're going to make them feel like they're not in the right place, just with the way that this happens. And this is going to be an evolutionary period, right? It's not like we can control if they're going to go to watch our videos first, if they're going to go and opt in, if they're going to go and visit our website or our social media. We have no control over that. So the only way that we can prevent ourselves from looking foolish is to be prepared on all assets in all channels. So if we follow this diagram, week 1, they see the ad. Week 2, they visit your social media pages and your website, and you're continuing to follow up with your advertisements, right? So they're seeing you multiple times. Now they're visiting you. Then we hit them with one of the offers that is a free giveaway for them to actually see that we are capable of delivering results in advance. When this happens, this isn't going to happen until probably week 3 or week 4. Because they've been seeing you. And now it's like, okay, this person's been showing up. Maybe they know what they're doing. Let me give them a shot. That's how it works. Then week 4 and week 5 come around. Now think about it. You're a month in. And you're just now starting to see the results, right? This is why so many people give up and they go back to just making minimal dollars with minimal effort because they don't want to put in the work. And this diagram, I really wanted to take time and put together for you today because it's going to show you that you need to put in the work. There's 0% chance that the majority of the people that are going to do business with you are going to do business with you the first time or within the first week of meeting you. It's never going to happen. And they're not even meeting you, right? It's digital. You're literally doing, you're handing out a digital flyer. And then you're upset. Most of the folks that I talk with, they're upset because, well, it didn't happen soon. It didn't happen overnight. I had the ad running for 3 days. Darn it. Well, how many ads have you tested? How many different angles have you tested? How many different opportunities, how many different offers have you tested? There's so many different things that you have to put in front of these folks before you know what works. That's why what we're doing here is paying for data. If you have a problem with paying for data, then you have a problem with growing your business. That's just the way it is. So we want to make sure that you do not have a problem paying for data because once you pay for the data, the only way it becomes profitable or as a good business decision is if you know how to analyze and read and interpret that data. If you can't do that, then there's no reason in buying data, which is why a lot of people go, well, I don't know how to analyze it. I don't know how to interpret it. So I'm not going to buy it. I just want people to do business with me today. All that other stuff just seems like hard work. Foolishness. Okay. We cannot buy into that kind of philosophy if we plan on being an actual business that wants to see growth. And I'm talking about rapid growth, consistent growth over years to come. So when we get into week 4 and 5 now, look at what they're doing. They still have not booked. They still have not taken you up on the offer. They still have not done what we wanted them to do. So what does this mean? We have to either A, give up and go, well, you know what? The system doesn't work, man. It's week 5 and I'm getting video views. I'm getting people to opt in. I'm getting people to visit. I'm getting people to engage. I'm growing my brand. I'm gaining awareness in my marketplace. But damn it, if I'm not making any damn sales yet. Well, it's a process. Imagine, when's the best time to plant a tree? The answer to that is 20 years ago. So the same thing applies to your marketing. The best time for you to have started building your brand was freaking when you started the business. So you thinking that marketing is going to build up this sense of awareness overnight is foolish. And that's what this diagram is going to help set the right expectations so you don't wake up and go to bed wondering, why the hell isn't this working? When in fact, it probably is. It's about patience. It's about trusting the process. It's about knowing that the work you're putting in today will reap benefits tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I don't mean literally tomorrow. I mean just in the future. So when we get now to week 5 or 6, look at what's happening. They're still letting the problem get bigger while looking for a solution. This is not abnormal. This is so normal for people to opt in for 1 million different giveaways from 1 million different people, and they're wanting to see who's going to speak the right language to them. They want to see who do they feel most comfortable learning from. They want to see what tactics are going to be best for them. So we've got to continue to educate. We've got to continue to develop a relationship through our content and through our system. Because we do only want to spend time with those who are qualified, but that does not mean we're not going to educate those who are not. And this is the crazy part about business owners. You can see, and hopefully you can hear this emotion that I have in today, because a lot of you out there are thinking that it's going to take less time than it actually does. I don't know why. I imagine it's because all the BS out there being sold on the internet, all the freaking hoopla that's telling you about overnight success and how you only have to do so little. That's bullshit. They're trying to get your money. They're selling you snake oil, man. And this is why so many people fail, because they're like, well, I bought into this system and it didn't work. Well, what was the actual objective of you buying that system, of you buying into that training? Well, a lot of the folks, well, I wanted to get fast results overnight, wanted to see this, scale and do all these things. Well, there's a system to this. And people, typically the gurus, the people who are out there, grabbing and taking money from everybody, it's typically a false, it's misguided, right? It's absolutely misguided. They're half-truths and misleading information. And so you could either buy into that or you could follow the actual real outline that is proven scientifically and through data that, hey, this is actually a life cycle of a buyer. 8 weeks is on average, and that's actually following our system. You'll notice that the average is between, yes, get this, is between 9 months and 2 years. I didn't make this up. If you do your research, you will see that Wicked Reports just last year did an audit on over 500 or some ridiculous amount of accounts. Those accounts all brought forth data that showed that the average life cycle for someone to do business with anybody via Facebook from cold traffic is between 9 months and 2 years. With my system, you're able to get it down to 8 weeks. Now, this is pretty incredible, right? Because logically, that's like what, 10, what is that? That is ridiculous. That's like 10x, 1,000% shrink. Like we have shrank the sales process now in the buyer's journey by about 1,000%, right? 10x. It's ridiculous when you get this thing set up. So now by week 8, notice that they're going to see the ad for your service and now, or your product, and now they're going to be ready to buy. Okay. That's how this works. Then we get into the front end. So the front end, we have to understand, okay, well, are we only going to run lead gen? Well, no, we're not. We have to have 3 campaigns. Remember the 3 phases: value, pitch, close. Value, pitch, close. So for us, value is going to be a lead gen campaign. And the lead is going to be somebody who gives you an email, not a phone number, right? This is somebody who's saying, hey, I'm interested in you showing me what I can do to better my situation, but I'm not going to give you a phone number because I don't want to freaking talk to you, man. I just want to see if you can help me. And if you're willing to help me for free the way you say you are in your advertisement, then you should not have to need my phone number, right? It's tracking behavior. And so we want to make sure that we have Facebook lead gen campaigns that lead into a branding campaign, which will be filled with your articles, your goodwill videos, speaking about how to and things of that nature. This is going to be your branding campaign, right? These are going to be mostly filled with videos. And you have articles. I love having articles attached to them as well, running concurrently with my videos in my branding campaign phase. But it's really all about building your brand, right? You've gotten their attention. You've helped them see that there's a solution that you provide, and it's a problem that they're having right now. But we also know, based on the grid above, that it's not going to happen that first interaction. So we've got to build up this brand awareness campaign that's going to educate your market on why you're good at what you do, how you're able to actually do it, and what matters the most to you when you're getting it done for your market, right? So if we are going to break this down again, it's very important that we look at the very next phase. So we have the Facebook sales campaign. Now, if you try and skip and you try and say that I'm not going to do the lead gen, I'm not going to do the branding, all I want to do is sell high ticket services and high-end products, and I want to do it on the first time that they see me because that's just what I see online. So it's got to be true. That's like saying everything on the TV that you see is real, right? I mean, that's just ridiculous thought process. We got to kick that to the curb and understand that there is actually a way that people want to learn. There's actually a way that our brains have shown and said, you know what, this is the best way I'm going to build trust. For me to actually do business with this person who's trying to sell me on a high ticket product or high ticket service, I've got to actually know what they're about, why they do what they do, and if it can really help me. Well, you can't do that if you don't educate them through the lead gen campaign and the branding campaign. You can't. So that's why it's very important that we take into consideration the process, moving them from cold to warm into current buyers and past buyers, and then ongoing through referrals and things of that nature. Now, when you get to the front end and you see that it's not just on Facebook, it can be on Google as well. We know that when they do not schedule after they opt in, they're going to get put into what you see over here, the download and the back-end automation. So if we follow an arrow from Facebook lead gen to lead pages, to landing pages, right? And then over here to those who do not schedule. So imagine these are people who opted in, gave us their name, gave us their email, got taken through the funnel, were introduced to your very first offer and said no. That's okay. 85 to 95% of the people that see that for the very first time are going to say no. So then what do we have to do next? Well, then we have to deliver what we promised, right? Deliver what we actually said was free for them to get. And then give them a couple of reminders, some goodwill, which we call trust maximizers, the couple of surveys, couple of direct offers with our double taps, maybe a webinar invite. You can see there's some ways here for us to continue to develop a relationship. And now this is all through email automation and back end. Okay, now what happens if they do see the sales page? What's going to happen next? They're going to want to get vetted. We're going to want to vet these folks. We're going to want to call them and make sure that they are actually who they say they are. If they fill out a form that requests a call by you, we need to make sure that this person is ready to do business with you. Where are they at in their mindset? Where are they at in their business? Where are they at in their expectations? And you got to make sure that it's somebody you could work with. Well, if it's not, guess what? They're going to get put back into cold traffic, because you're going to let them go back into that. You're going to remove them from your list, put them back into cold traffic, remarket to them, and hopefully in a couple months' time after they've watched your stuff, they've bettered their position and they can now be a better quality client for you, right? Not everybody that fills out and says that I want to work with you, do we work with? And I hope that's the same for you. So next we want to be able to say, okay, well, if we send out free resources to help out on the back end and they don't schedule or they're not qualified, right? We're going to put them back into the cold market. If they don't show, we put them back into the cold market. Now, if they do say, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to show up. I'm going to be qualified. I've been vetted. I've seen all your stuff. Now, guess what? Do they become a client? Yes. Let's go ahead and get them with their terms approved, right? Contract signed, invoice paid, and get the onboarding process started, right? With worksheets, scripts, logins, deadlines, and begin the build out, depending on what your business model is, right? But that's a simple approach to after they become a client. Well, if they're scheduled and they qualify, but they do not become a client, then you put and do a new campaign with a new solution to the problem, right? You don't give up on them. You just say, hey, look, maybe right now is not the time. What are you looking for? Okay, perfect. You know what? I'm going to continue to send you a couple cool things over the next few months. And I hope that we can reconnect in a few months' time and get you back on course. You know, there's no harm, no foul with meeting with somebody who does not become a client. Not unless your objective is wrong. Not unless your entire mindset is, I'm going to just get everybody that comes through my pipeline. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So now that we see that we've gone through the front end, right? We've gone through the actual prospect type. We know exactly what the time frame is. We know what the front end looks like. Now we know what the back end looks like. Now let's look at the sales and we know what the sales process looks like. Let's look at the actual retargeting. This is where we have phase 2 and phase 3. Right? So phase 2, again, with the branding phase, imagine these are just examples of what you would put inside here. So the branding campaign broken down below and the sales campaign broken down below. You'll notice that the branding campaign is going to be filled with your big idea, right? Your philosophy, your methodology, your tactics, case studies, how-to videos, personal stories, testimonials, all these things. And it's going to be pointing to multiple sales pages, hosting multiple offers. So this way you have offer A on sales page A getting ran to case study A. Offer B on sales page B getting ran to how-to videos or live trainings. You have all these different things set up. This is how you're going to be able to generate high quality leads that are going to go through a funnel feeling like it's congruent the entire way. And then when they actually get presented with the offer, they're going to know what the hell you're talking about. They're going to feel like they're connected in some way, shape, or form because they've consumed the content up to this point, making it easier for them to see the value in what you're offering. Then we get to phase 3, right? Which is just a reminder. Hey, look, are you still interested in this cool stuff I'm giving you? Hey, look, did you know that we offer different packages? Hey, here's your last chance to get this. And then you could insert what they call the PASS formula, which is just a way for you to use pain, agitation, and the solution formula. Or what I like best is the aspiration, agitation, and solution formula. So then we have a seasonal promotion, and those would be the 6 starting campaigns you would want to have that directly offer in a direct marketing sales, in a direct sales response, in a direct response manner to your phase 3 crowd. So people who are seeing these specific offers have only and are only those that have gone through phase 1 and phase 2. So these folks that are being remarketed to in phase 2, these are guys that are leads of yours, engaging with your page, visiting your website, right? They're consuming, they're already on your list. They're consuming your content. They're the most engaged people that you can reach. So the more you put through the front end, the bigger the retargeting becomes. And the bigger the retargeting becomes, the faster of a chance that you have getting daily clients. If you try and skip any of this, it's over. It's over. There's no way for a person to invest thousands of dollars. Just think of your own buying psychology There's nobody out there that's going to invest thousands of dollars the very first time that they see you. Never. Never, never, never. And never is not really a word we use in marketing or sales, but in this case, it is never. Never, never, never. The only way that's going to happen would be if it came from a very, very well-trusted third party. And even then, when I get those amazing referrals from great clients and they send me amazing referrals, it's still a 2 or 3 call process. It's still me meeting with them and verifying what that person shared if we could help them, and then meeting with them live and going, okay, look, this is what we could do. And then we get the onboarding process started. So no matter what you're looking at, referrals, cold traffic, warmth, it does not matter. This is the actual process. So I wanted to take time out today. I hope you guys found a lot of value in this, because this is going to determine how real your expectations are and how upset you are at the end of each week. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the very next call. You enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you then. Take care.